We now head to Zambia now, where the Zambia has managed to maintain a balance of international partnerships, critical for its economic development by diversifying its partnerships beyond traditional donors like the United Kingdom and the United States. It has established relationships with emerging powers like China, India, and Brazil, as well as regional actors such as South Africa and Kenya. According to President Hakainde Hichilema, the South African country is creating conducive environment for investment by setting up incentives and creating a legal framework that protects investors. Now, to, of course, speak more on this is, Gito Kayumba, the Presidential Economic Advisor in Zambia. Thank you so much for your time, Gito. All right, I would kindly appeal that you unmute your mic so that we can hear you well.
Yes, the mic is unmuted.
All right. All right. Thank you so much once again for your time.
Sure.
All right, so let's get straight to it. Now, Zambia has recently made strides in bilaterals with other countries, which, of course, has boosted the country's economy. What can we attribute to all of this achievement?
I think ultimately this can be attributed to leadership, to sound, focused and visionary leadership. I think President Hakainde Hichilema has been very clear with his direction, his principles that are based on a very strong historical context where, you know, the first president, President Kenneth Kaunda, laid the foundation for our foreign policy and the manner in which we engage as a country towards other countries. I mean, with regards to, you know, how we treat the great powers of this world who sometimes could be at odds, we look at it as we maintain principles, we maintain a status of non-alignment. And I think we are getting a lot of respect as a result. And you could see the manner in which, you know, all the countries that, you know, from various standpoints, ideologically and otherwise, are engaging with us in a manner that, you know, they truly appreciate that we are principled people. And this is something that we hope that other countries can certainly adopt.
All right, now let's talk about the visit of the United States Vice President to Zambia recently. I mean, what was the crux of the conversation, particularly as regards boosting the economy of Zambia?
We were very privileged and fortunate to receive Vice President Kamala Harris, which came really on the back of an invitation that was sent to her a couple of years ago. In fact, just when the president came into office. And really the crux of it was her coming to strengthen bilateral ties, to signal a message of a reset of the Zambia-US relationship, which has really blossomed over the last year and 7 months of this administration under President Hichilema. And what it was to seal, in addition to the bilateral ties, but to practically put in place support mechanisms, partnership mechanisms, which allows for investment of over $500 million of bilateral support to the health sector, to economic transformation, to food security, to governance and democracy. I mean, this is another element that has made Zambia really stand out as a country, is that we are a democratic country. We celebrate it. We celebrate our freedoms. We cherish the democratic system. And with that, countries like the US who value the same thing are keen to engage with us. So that's ultimately what it was. But it also came with private investment. The people that she came with, the investment houses who sit on trillions of dollars of capital, also were here looking at various opportunities from battery metals to, you know, value addition in the mining sector. There was a transaction that took place, you know, fronted by, business tycoons, titans like Jeff Bezos, together with Bill Gates and a number of titans who are investing in the mining sector through their, I think they've got this, a new entity in Zambia. It's called Cobalt Zambia. So that's one of many reasons that she was here, and one of the, among the many benefits that came out of this trip.
All right. Now, I mean, recently Africa has actually witnessed, courting and also visits by world powers. We've seen the US, we've seen China, we've even seen Russia. I mean, what do you make of all of this? I mean, some critics are saying that quite probably it's more political than even more of being maybe economic or partnership ties. What are your takes on these visits?
This is a special time for us as Africa in the history of the world. It's a great time to be young and to be present at a time when the world takes us very seriously, that we have something of value to offer. The fact that they are here, whether it be, for lack of a better word, here to court us. But I wouldn't want to be in any other position, because we can now look inward to leverage on what we have from a resource perspective, so that we can align our developmental vision, because ultimately Africa lags behind the rest of the world developmentally, and we can leverage on the global community for investment, for partnerships, for other sort of multilateral and bilateral engagements that does yield development. So to be taken seriously, to have people of substance, people of consequence come on our shores, really does represent a new position that Africa now holds, that we do have a voice. But what we must do as Africans is really work closer together to realize more value from this relationship. So I see it more as an opportunity, not as one where we're looking to be exploited or looking to be a pawn in a geopolitical conflict. This is truly one where the world knows that they need our, whether it be oil, our copper, our cobalt, our diamonds, and all the value that we have, even our human capital. Whereas Africa is poised to be a provider of labor to the world, in terms of in the context of the youth population, that will be a significant percentage of global population. So it will be the next factory of the world, the next engine for global economic progress. The energy transition and the resources that sit on our continent are part and parcel of what I believe will steer the future.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Jita.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.